Councilmember Sullivan.
Thank you, Mayor. These speakers have been here. This is either their third or fourth meeting with this request. And I think it's very appropriate that we do send this to the Legislative and Litigation Committee and just to review the city policy and give the people that feel so strongly about this a chance to just make very clear what their position is. And so I would request this be sent to committee. Thank you.
Councilmember Benham.
Thank you, Mayor Hall. Ms. Gennaro, I'd like to ask for your opinion on this. We had had previous discussions, and there had been some indication that planning and development would be the appropriate place for this because it would be a citywide a look at the citywide parking policy. What's your opinion on that?
Councilmember Benham, you are correct. We've talked about the two committees, either Leg and Lit or Planning and Development. It really depends on what the issue is that council would like to refer. If it's more of a global issue, then perhaps Planning and Development would be better. If it's some type of an ordinance change, legislative change, then Leg and Lit would be more appropriate. And I would remind the council that typically on referrals, we do honor the council member's request, but if a particular chair does not feel that the issue belongs in his or her committee, we can always take the referral up for a vote.
Thank you. I as chair of the Leg and Lit committee, think that it would be better reviewed as you say, as a global matter in planning and development. So I would ask Councilmember Sullivan to consider a referral to planning and development.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Well, I have considered that, and I think it's very appropriate to have it to. I'm on the legislative committee, and I think it's more of a policy issue without question. I don't think it's really. I think it's much more appropriate for it to be in the Leg and Lit committee, so we can really hear the, the personal issues involved, and also review the policy, because I think it is. I feel it's more of a policy issue. And I would, my strong feeling is that it be sent to the Leg and Lit. In fact, I thought earlier today that if these speakers were here again tonight, that would be my position, wanting it to go to that committee. And I think that's the place for it.
Councilmember Sullivan, in light of Councilmember Benham's comments, if you would make that a motion, I would appreciate it, and then the council can vote.
Okay, that's great. I will make a motion to send it, to have it discussed, and send it to the Leg and Lit committee. Thank you.
You have a motion. Please cast your votes. Councilmember Couch.
Thank you, Mayor. You probably wonder what I'm going to ask you. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be taking up in Leg and Lit, nor am I quite sure what planning and development would be taking up. So I think what I'm going to ask is, would it be, I'm asking the maker of the motion if it would be prudent if she would consider, and I know I'm putting her on the spot right now, so I don't necessarily expect an answer tonight, but at our possibly deferring that referral for 2 weeks and allowing you time to meet with staff to determine exactly what you want us to take up, because I don't want us to get into Leg and Lit, because I have a feeling we're going to venture into areas that planning and development would be talking about. And if you give it to planning and development, they're going to be venturing into areas that Leg and Lit would be talking about. So do we need to narrow the scope? Because I know we don't want to end up with two committees talking about this. Maybe narrow the scope isn't the right word, but clarify the scope of what the referral is.
Certainly that would help staff and perhaps the council decide which committee it would be more appropriate in. It would certainly help direct staff in how to answer the referral and how to be prepared for which committee it resides in. A deferral for 2 weeks may give Councilmember Sullivan more time to decide exactly what the issue is. My thought is that we would go back to the fairly thorough report that staff prepared for the council about 4 weeks ago and go through those issues, Councilmember Sullivan, and try to hone in on the issue that you were particularly concerned about that needs to be discussed. But if you, again, feel that it should go to a committee at this particular time, that's certainly your prerogative.
Additionally, I would like to offer another option, and that is the Vice Mayor certainly has the prerogative to appoint an ad hoc committee to discuss an issue and make a recommendation to the council. And I'm not trying to get out of any work on any committee. If he sees fit that I should serve on that committee, I'll be happy to do that. But that's another option that the council could consider if certain members don't feel an issue belongs in committees.
That's correct.
Okay.
And that may, again, be another reason to defer the matter for 2 weeks.
That's...
Just two thoughts,
Okay.
Councilmember Sullivan. Thank you.
I think there were 3 thoughts there, David, but that's fine. I'm not concerned about me being put on the spot. I think I've put the council members on the spot. So I would definitely like to be one of the members on the committee making a recommendation. I think there's definitely some discrepancies here as far as a consistent policy is concerned, and that's really what that's my main concern. But as far as waiting 2 weeks, I don't think that's a problem, and give the council members a chance to just make a review of the issues that there are a lot of issues involved with some of the issues as far as a city perspective is concerned. So that's fine. I'm happy to bring this back in 2 weeks.
Councilmember Sullivan, would you like to withdraw your motion?
I will withdraw the motion until the next meeting. Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Attorney, does that take care of our procedure here?